GM. Today's lesson. What to do while you're waiting for the market to do the work. That's the title of this lesson, which I've just given it now. So, while you're waiting for the market to go up, because it is inevitable, they will cut rates, they will print more money, Bitcoin will go to the moon. This is going to happen, but only you can fuck it up. And you can fuck it up by essentially clicking buttons when you shouldn't click buttons. It's as simple as that. You start with one high time frame premise. The first premise you start with is the market's going higher. Now, if you're wrong, it means that everything that we know about the market and the setup, both from macro perspective and from crypto perspective, and from the ETFs unlocking trillions of new capital, to the halving, reducing the supply, to the innovation going on within the space, to the record new inflows of VC capital, not record, but sorry, returning inflows, where money's starting to flow back into the capital markets, right? The VC market was dead in 2023. It's now back to life. Capital that was already trying to fucking run away and pivot to AI or whatever is starting to come back again as they realize, oh wait, crypto's not dead. All this money sitting on the sidelines is going to eventually push us higher. So your job as, first of all, an investor is to buy and hold and wait. Secondly, then, is to trade. And your trading, again, requires discipline, dedication, and patience, right? Because even if you trade, you don't trade all the time. So what do you do while you're waiting? The way I like to view it is you have to imagine 18 months from now, when the bull market ends, mid-2025, rough estimate, that would be earlier than the last cycle, which ended at the end of 2021. It would be slightly later than some people are saying, where they think that it's going to all end this year. I think a fair estimation is early to mid 2025, I guess. The point is not exactly when. The point is, it's a long time. 12 or 18 months is a long time. So what are you doing in between to make yourself better in every way? Do you have your diet on point? Do you have your training, your physical condition on point? Are you upskilling in whatever areas you want to do? Assuming that you've got your work, okay, so you have a job or business or whatever, and then you research and analyze your crypto and you trade, you should be left with free time. If you're learning trading, that's separate. But the vast majority of what you're going to do in the next 12 months will define your future thereafter. Don't neglect any area of your life because you think, oh, I have to put maximum focus into the market until then. You can put maximum focus into the market and not be staring at the candles every day. Maximum focus does not mean stare at every 1 hour candle of Bitcoin if your goal is to buy altcoins and then sell them in 12 months after an all-time high breakout or when there's euphoria. None of that requires you to overanalyze the micro movements of the market. One of the things I suggest that you do is get some type of productive hobby. Physical is always good. So if it's a new sport or exercise, gym program, getting into best shape of your life, set some kind of positive, constructive, and reward-seeking endeavor. Let's just say, look, most people live in the Northern Hemisphere, right? So it's January. Summer is 6 months away. Why don't you get in the best shape of your life for summer? Why don't you lose 20 pounds? Whatever. Why don't you get a six-pack? Why don't you put on size, put on muscle if you want to get bigger? Why don't you learn how to fight? Why don't you sharpen up some skills physically? This only takes a maximum of 1 hour a day. And if it's about getting in shape, it doesn't even take that. It takes Mostly just adherence to healthy eating. Because the vast majority of what gets you into shape of losing weight is not what you do in the gym, it's what you do outside the gym. This carries over so much into your trading and into your just approach to life. If you become more disciplined in that way, which is literally simple, I'm going to create a diet plan, I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to create a training plan, I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to do all these little things outside of it. Like for me personally, I'm now stretching every morning and doing activation and mobility exercises, which I hate, but I do it because my goal for this year is to get back playing golf regularly. Haven't played regularly for years because I've just been too busy with work. That's what I tell myself, but that's bullshit too. I can fit it in, right? Especially as it's a skill I like to develop, something I did before. And, at least for me, I know that golf is a sport you play for the rest of your life. That's not something that you want to neglect. At least for me. Again, if you've never played it and you've no interest, you do you. But just speaking with me personally. But there's things I need to do. I have old injuries that I need to fix first. I can go and play golf now, but I have sciatica. I essentially have sciatica from an old deadlifting injury where I basically tore a muscle in the back of between my glute and my hamstring. It didn't heal right, and now I get sciatic pain. So if I sit too long, if I drive cars too long, if I train and I don't really warm up and do mobility, I'll get that pain. So I go to a chiropractor, I have a physical therapist, I get massage, and now I am stretching every morning, doing activation exercises on certain muscles, and I'm going to be focusing on sport-specific training, not just basic weightlifting, but more functional training, specific to moving my body as a unit, getting it all working together. I'm also going to tighten up my diet, and I'm going to focus on really improving my physical body, my diet, my energy systems from just little things. I generally eat quite well, but I'm going to really dial it in. Supplementation plus the diet, getting protein on point, eating the right things at the right times, avoiding carbs in the morning mostly because I tend to work better without them, loading the carbs up in the evening for energy, eating them after training, just being specific. Little things that in the grand scheme of things don't matter massively, but you derive this great sense of satisfaction from doing the right things consistently over and over again and seeing results. And I cannot tell you how much that will carry over into your trading and your approach to the markets, as well as your job, by the way, as well as your family life. If you just become the person who does the right things, you'll want to do the right things in every area. If you've eaten your meals all week, you've had your healthy meals, you've had enough protein, you've trained every day, you've done your stretching, you've done your 10,000 steps, you've done your cold plunge, you've done your sauna, you've done all this stuff that just, by the way, you feel fucking amazing after every one of those things. There is zero negative consequences to doing any of those things. You feel great after cold exposure, you feel great after the sauna, you feel great after doing your stretching, you feel great after going to the gym, you feel great after a healthy meal, you feel great after a full night's sleep, you feel great waking up on time, you feel great going to sleep at the right time. You feel fucking amazing. You're going to be overloaded with positive dopamine and the reward system that your brain craves by doing it. Then guess what? When you sit down and you're like, what's on my list? Oh, I have to do 50 back tests. I don't really want to do it. But yeah, I didn't really want to go to the gym this morning, but I went. And I remember how good that felt. So I'm going to do my back tests. And it's this snowball rolling downhill analogy. It starts off and you don't think too much about it. But when you go to the gym one day, and then 2, and then 3, and then a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and you eat well for the first day, the first week, and then suddenly you've lost a bit of weight, then 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and you're in better shape, you're starting to see abs coming through, you're starting to see more muscle definition, you're suddenly waking up pain-free because you're doing your stretching, you're doing your mobility work, you're getting stronger, you're getting better, your skills are getting sharper at whatever It can be any skill. Everyone should be working on one physical skill. That can just be, if you like weightlifting, do weightlifting. If you like training martial arts, train martial arts. If you like golf like me, do golf. Whatever it is, it can be anything. But something that you can feel improvement from. It's going to create a positive feedback loop that bleeds through into every area of your life. I can't really put a word on it or describe it any better than that. It's just when you're doing the right things in other areas, you just want to do the right things in all areas. So now, while we're still at the start of the year and we've got 12 months to look forward to, and you've got loads and loads of time, I'm telling you, you have loads of time. You do not need to be babysitting your positions. If you're buying spot Bitcoin and ETH and Solana and Akash and all kinds, guess what? You just get your money in, you buy some if it's at the price you want it to be at, if it's not at all-time highs and it's in a dip, and then you just have to do nothing. Instead of sitting, scrolling Twitter, stressing about why price is red today, go and work on one of your skills. Make yourself better. Because 18 months from now, 12 months from now, whenever it's all over, you want to also be a better, stronger, fitter, smarter, healthier person. Reading, study. If you've got, and this is outside the markets, if you want to do something that's not physical, that still has improvement, pick up a new skill, like learn something. Could be a language. Could be, I want to learn more about mindset. Especially that, like if you want to read about mindset, either growth mindset or goal setting or any of these things I talk about in bootcamp, that also carries over into trading. Psychology, behavioral psychology, super applicable to trading. Keep it tangentially related, right? It's related, but it's not direct. I wouldn't recommend that you go and read about technical analysis. That's pointless. It doesn't make you a better person. But if you read about, like I said, mindset or psychology, that helps you both in trading and in the market. Try and make it relevant, but not just that you're all obsessed with fucking charts. And this is so important. Everything you need to learn about TA is in the campus. It's super easy because TA doesn't make you profitable. There's a few things you need to know, and then most of it is how do you manage everything in between. It's not the charts. It's when you're in the trade, how do you not fuck it up? The way you not fuck it up is by being a person who has life outside the charts, and if you're studying outside of them, that you're studying on things like how to make better decisions. So I would recommend everybody focus on that. Physical or mental. Upgrade yourself this year.